Good evening. Ira Epstein with your metal market wrap-up for this D-Day. Yep, day we invaded Normandy. The U.S. really got into the war. I'm talking World War II. And where are we now? This is June 6, 2022. Now, before I get too far, see that subscribe button on the bottom if you're watching me on YouTube? Why don't you give it a click? Every time I put out these updates, you get the notice right away. You're not waiting on my email and the like, and you know that they're posted on there. On our front page of our website, sometimes there's a 3 to 5 minute delay between YouTube finishing up its, if you will, the rendering there, and then hitting our website with it. It's all automated, but it just takes a little bit of time. So don't get frustrated. That's how that is. That'll help us and help you. Hit like if you like what I say. I do apologize for not putting out your weekly updates here, but I played hooky. In fact, tonight I'm going out to dinner early. It's 5 o'clock Chicago time. My wife's dragging me out to dinner, wants me out of here 5:45. I never have dinner 5:45, but as usual, some fancy restaurant that she feels she has to go to. How many times have we been through this? All right. Interesting day. You started higher in the stock market, the stock indices. By day's end, they were giving everything up. But that's what bear markets do. What I don't understand is people watching, and you have to be watching interest rates. You're back over 3% in the 10-year. I am of the opinion, as I told you, that we won't go much under 2.9 now into the 3.2 level as we approach next week's FOMC meeting, where they're going to go up 50 basis points. I'm sure that the notes will be hawkish when they're eventually released after that. Then we'll go into the July meeting with another 50 basis point hike, but I don't know what those notes will look like. And the reason is, when do we see inflation peaking? I haven't the slightest idea. If you look at the Bloomberg CRB index, commodity index, it's at an all-time high. I'm watching what natural gas is capable of. You heard the word capable. Texas is on high alert for extreme weather again right now. Over the next 10 days, if they start running into energy problems, can you imagine the demand for the product of natural gas and everything else that's going to make electricity? It's going to go through the roof. We're sitting here comfortably at 120, and did you see that the Saudis have now raised their price to Asia? People thought it was going to go up maybe $1.50, 4 times that amount. Here it comes. You want our oil? This is what you're going to pay. Now, India is making long-term deals with China, reportedly. I'm not part of them, obviously. And they're trying to lock up oil that nobody else wants. Grain markets, we're still worrying about, is the grain ever going to make it out of the Ukraine? I know if I'm a Ukrainian and I'm Zelensky, I am not buying for 2 seconds that I should turn the fate of my country over to Turkey's going to make sure that the ports stay open. Are you out of your mind? That isn't going to happen. So Turkey and Russia get together, and all of a sudden, is Turkey going to go to war with Russia if Russia decides to use the clean mine area to do it? If you don't get NATO involved, this isn't going to happen. It's that simple. And does NATO want to get involved is even a bigger issue, because what if then our ships, NATO ships, have to take on the Russian ships? Then you're right into the war. I don't know. As much as I understand, and I do believe that grain one way or the other is going to get to the market. I don't know how. I know that some of it's making its way to the market. And how do I know that? Because the land where Russia has taken it over, they have gone, I'm reading the reports, to the elevators and the docks, wherever they're at. They're taking the grain, they're putting it onto the barges that Russia has, and they'll sell it in the open market as Russian, as whatever it is. They have buyers for that. Not the whole world needs food. There'll be buyers for that. So they're taking that. Let's go to the chart action. In the gold market, still staying down. Inflation is not picking up the gold market. How much more do we have to hear that? The next stories will be, you got to understand where you're at in inflation. We're already talking as a world, is inflation peaking, right? That's the talk. It's not how strong it's getting. Yes, some think it's worse than others, like Larry Summers thinks it's already 10% for all purposes. Let's assume he's right. I don't hear him saying it's going to 13%. Got what I'm saying? So that's the question. Gold can't run with it. Forget it. The only thing that made gold come alive this year was Ukraine. So when I look at the market, sideways action, okay, a disappointing vehicle, and I've used that word probably 100 times in the past 6 months. Lower low, higher high, no trend trade, back to the 18 average, the 200-day, it's not worthy of a trade as far as I'm concerned. And momentum pointing its way to the downside again. Yep, I just don't see anything there. I like gold-silver ratio. Why? Because I think that China, coming out of the dark ages, their zero tolerance policy, will give a demand for material goods, be it the copper, the silver, the platinum, the palladium. I think all those markets will get bids. I also believe, I was thinking about this over the weekend, it's not time yet because President Xi's got to get through their, I forgot the name of their conference that they have, where all the members of the party get together and they set an agenda and they talk through it. Whenever that comes, and it's not far away, after that, there may be a change in President Xi's attitude on the zero tolerance. There's only going to be so long before this, and he realizes how it hurts the economy, and he looks at his own political base, because everything is still running a government about politics. And he probably says to himself, maybe we have to modify that. That could be another bullish element down the road. And I think that's all good for silver, sooner rather than later. However, do you disagree with me that we're just caught in sideways action? Now, let me give you my theory. My theory is you get the sideways action. Which way do you break? You come down. It's rare that you get another sideways one that long and you come down again. It could happen, but it's not the norm. The norm is this turns into a base trying to get and attack these highs. That's the norm. That doesn't mean it has to happen. That's all that I'm saying. So I look at that very carefully. Copper, you know how bullish I am. I think copper's going to have a 5 on it before you can shake a stick. I'm quite friendly this market because you use copper in everything, be it electric cars, be it appliances, whatever you can imagine. Infrastructure. You need copper, and there's not a lot of new projects underway anywhere in the world. So what you have is it, and we're outstripping, demand's outstripping that supply. So I look at the market, but I'm a chartist. First time you get up to a level where you get up to the 100-day average in the Bollinger Band, why would I do anything but tell my clients come out of longs? And I think I was here and I said, as reluctant as I am and as bullish as I am, I don't think you want to stay long beyond that point. And the market has dropped back very nicely, about 16 cents. That's quite a bit of a break. On a futures contract, that's thousands of dollars. Momentum has to correct. It has to get away from being overbought. It either embeds or it corrects more. In the platinum, you had a couple of days over at the upper Bollinger Band, and you've now moved to the right-hand side of it. No surprise on that whatsoever. And in the palladium, disappointment. I mean, this is what you use in all internal combustion engines in countries that have catalytic converters, and it's not going anywhere. But here, too, you're developing that sideways action. But I went on the chart, and I don't find that other sideways action that I could hang my hat on. Just sort of an interesting chart. If it breaks down, I think 1908. If it goes up, I don't think it can easily go anywhere. It's got a lot of resistance above it. Just a market that's sort of caught in no man's land. Then in the dollar, I should have taken this arrow pointing down off. If you take a look, well, that was the high of 102.75. I mean, oh, wow, I've got that problem. By the way, I bought a new one of these. Tomorrow we hook it up, and I shouldn't have these problems with any luck. We didn't buy the same brand. We went to a new one. So it's been years since I bought one of these new clickers. But I'm looking to see, can the market clear the 102.70 level? 102.75 is going to be the battleground on that market. So you put it all together, and we're sort of in one of these. I was watching Kramer just before I came on, and his pre-show is he was on at 4 o'clock, and he's going, they sucker you in. They jump these markets. You think it's a slam dunk. You can come in later, and the markets are up. Well, even he understands, and he said it. Bear markets act this way. And they'll give you pops, but they don't hold. Bull markets drop, and then they come back at you. You can't figure out why they're not staying down. Bear market is the flip of all that. And I talk about all this, and I teach you, and I tell you, here's what I think you buy. Here's come out. Here's the profit objective. Here's why you make this trade. Here's why you don't make a trade that looks a certain way. I do this each morning. I start recording at 5:30 a.m. It's about a 15 to 20 minute recording. I cover the full futures market, give you trade ideas. That's what it's about. As a subscriber, you have the right to email me with questions you might have. I do answer them. Sometimes I make for you a 30 to 60 second video. You'll say, hey, Ira, what do you think of this chart? And I just do it. I talk to you right in it, and away you go. It's all part and parcel of my subscriber video. So how do you become a paid subscriber, which is different than this free thing on YouTube? It's simple. You go to our website and read about it first. Don't sign up for anything. Go to the website, go to the word research, read. Is this for you? The cost of it, if you go to Starbucks twice a week, I'm way cheaper. You heard me, cheaper than the Starbucks twice a week, okay? And you're getting each week a minimum of 6 videos from me each, about 20 minutes long, and I'm certainly more entertaining. It's that simple. I will give you that buzz. If you want to do it a different way, just take your cursor, move up here to the top, you'll see an icon, give it a click and sign up there. I'm Ira Epstein. You have a good day. I'll talk to you all tomorrow.